This is All India Radio. The news read by Valsa Williams. The United Nations Conference on the Convention on Biodiversity has begun in Hyderabad this morning. Chairing the 6th edition of the meeting of the Conference of Parties on Cartagena Protocol on Biosafety being held as a prelude to the summit, Union Minister for Environment and Forests, Mrs. Jayanti Natarajan, has stressed the need for risk assessment of the living modified organisms on human health. The Minister called for a balanced approach in the use of biotechnology in such a way that biosafety measures are taken care of by all partners. She asked the participant countries to strive for more cooperation in adoption of biosafety regulatory framework, scaling up capacity building and exchange of information on biosafety. Mrs. Natarajan said broad consensus is required on dealing with issues related to living modified organisms, LMOs, as countries are expressing concerns over them. Andhra Pradesh Governor E.S.L. Narasimhan said biotechnology should be used for increasing food production to face the challenges of climate change and depleting groundwater resources. About 2,000 delegates from about 150 countries are attending the meet. 2 CRPF Jawans were killed by Maoists in the forests of West Midnapur district in West Bengal today. The Jawans of 184 Battalion who were training in the jungle were ambushed by the Maoists. CRPF spokesperson B.C. Kanduri told AIR in New Delhi the joint security forces were involved in a fierce gun battle with the Maoists in Goaltor area's Metla forest since last night, during which the 2 Jawans were shot at in the morning. Some Maoists are also suspected to have been injured in the exchange of gunfire. In Tamil Nadu, 6 people, including 4 children, were charged to death early today in a gruesome fire accident in Thoppuvalasai village in Ramanathapuram. Ramanathapuram SP Mani Vannan told AIR that an investigation is on into the fire accident. Details are awaited. Today is World Habitat Day. It is being observed across the globe to reflect on the state of affairs in cities and towns with a focus on the basic human right to adequate shelter. This year's theme, Changing Cities, Building Opportunities, underscores the need to plan the cities better as their unplanned growth leads to chaotic development and urban sprawl. In his message, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has called for better planning of cities that can guide people to the future in which these cities and towns are equipped with adequate shelter, water, sanitation, health and other basic services. Various programs are being organized across the country to study the problems of rapid urbanization and its impact on the environment. The Supreme Court has issued notices to Manipur and central government on public interest litigation PIL seeking inquiry into alleged killings in fake encounters by security forces. The petitioner has sought an inquiry into alleged killings since 1978. External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna will meet U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in New York today on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly session. The issue of U.S. visa fee hike is expected to come up for discussion between them. Official sources say top Indian companies were affected by the U.S. action, and India is expected to soon seek consultations with the U.S. at the WTO on the issue. Mr. Krishna will also address the 67th session of the UN General Assembly today. A strong earthquake of 7.1 magnitude struck in the Andes Mountains of southwest Colombia last night. The National Seismological Network of Colombia said the epicenter of the quake was 169 kilometers underground. The quake also shook Ecuador's capital, Quito. In the last 2 Group 1 Super 8 matches of the ICC T20 World Cup tournament, New Zealand will take on the West Indies at 3:30 p.m. IST, while host Sri Lanka will meet defending champions England at 7:30 p.m. Both matches will be played at the Pallekele International Stadium near Kandy. And with that, we end this news bulletin.